I gave my girlfriend's parents a taste of their own medicine, and it destroyed our relationship. Now she's telling everyone I'm a monster she had to escape, plus 4 updates. I already understand I've been petty, and most likely the asshole, but I would still like some advice going forward. I apologize that this will be a wall of text. I, a 25-year-old male, and my girlfriend, a 26-year-old female, have been together for about 4.5 years now. We moved in together just over a year ago. Our relationship has been fine, we don't argue often, we support each other's separate interests, and overall living together has been quite hassle-free. The only thing that has caused minor arguments between us is that she hates confrontation. For example, she works as a supervisor part-time, and where she works, the people being hired for her to train are paid more than her. She hasn't gotten a raise of any kind in over a year, which is illegal, but she refuses to bring it up to the manager or anyone at all. This is frustrating, especially since she moved into my place, and she hasn't been able to afford to put anything forth. I own the place myself, and I pay for our car insurance, gas, and all of the bills. We go 50-50 for groceries, and it's been tough for how much I get paid. Anyways, her family and I have been decently close. They helped me move a couple years ago, they helped her move in last year, and we visit them for all major holidays. Her family and I only disagree on one thing, which is my religion. I am not religious, but they are quite Christian, and my girlfriend is non-practicing, though they don't know that. So whenever I go over, they are over the top on their religion and constantly trying to force me to join them in their practices. Whenever I decline, they say things under their breath like, "Oh, we will fix you," in a half-joking manner. This brings us to the current issue. We stayed at their house for the first time overnight a couple months ago. It was all going well until it got to around nighttime. They told me I should get the couch ready. I was confused as my girlfriend has a room sizable for the both of us, so I questioned, I thought I'd just sleep with my girlfriend? They declined, saying that our relationship wasn't at that level in their eyes. I accepted and did not want to argue, as it's their house and their rules. But I am quite tall, 6'6", and I have a lot of medical back pain and issues from a growth spurt when I was young, so I told them I wouldn't be able to sleep on the couch, especially since it was barely bigger than a love seat, but I would be more than okay purchasing a room at a nearby hotel. They said I was turning it into way too big of a deal and to respect their beliefs. After some back and forth, they eventually said they'd give up and told me to sleep wherever I wanted, clearly unhappy, and went to bed. I was going to get a hotel for myself, but my girlfriend got upset at me for trying to do so. So I stayed on the couch, which resulted in 0 sleep, and my back hurting for a couple of days. At least I was able to watch some good movies. Neither they nor I brought it up the next day, and we eventually left. Since then, I felt quite guilty as my girlfriend said I shouldn't have argued in their house. Now, months later, they were wondering if they could visit us and stay with us. My girlfriend and I agreed, of course. But before they arrived, I let them know that our couch wasn't quite big enough for 2 people, and they were very confused. I told them they would be sleeping on the couch, and they asked why. I told them that I felt they didn't respect our relationship to their standards, and since I followed the rules under their house, they should follow mine. They argued that since they are married, their relationship is more respected than ours. I told them that them being married doesn't mean that to me, and if they are coming to my house, they have to follow my rules. They ended up hanging up and texting my girlfriend they would not come over until I would apologize and was in the right mind. This led to my girlfriend and I arguing. She agrees that their relationship is more respectable because they're married. I told her that marriage isn't what grants me respect for a relationship. It's the foundation it's built on and how 2 people treat each other and those around them. So, should I apologize and allow them to sleep in the spare bedroom? My girlfriend believes I am being incredibly childish, petty, and unreasonable, which I definitely agree I am being petty, but I still just don't feel right allowing them to do whatever they want in my house if they don't respect my relationship with their daughter. The short version is, my girlfriend's parents wouldn't let us sleep in the same bed at their house. Now they are refusing to come over because they can't sleep in the same bed at my house either. Update. The short version of my last post is, I was a petty, childish asshole and wasn't letting my girlfriend's parents sleep in the same bedroom at my place because they wouldn't let us sleep in the same bedroom at theirs. It's been 20 days. Reading the comments from outside perspectives helped open my eyes. I pulled my girlfriend aside the day after my post and apologized. I admitted I was being childish, petty, an asshole, and that I wasn't acting my age. I was more like a toddler not sharing toys. She agreed and laughed at my analogy and forgave me as long as I called her parents, which was my next plan anyways. I called her parents and said roughly the same thing. They agreed, though they did not laugh, and told me that they will find another date in the future and reschedule staying with us. I told them that sounded great and we hung up. All was well. But the comments also helped me realize that my girlfriend's lack of initiative was something I needed to seriously talk to her about if I planned on marrying her. A day or two later, I decided to talk to her. I told her how much I love her and brought up many things she brings to our relationship to start things out. I then brought up how, if we are going to work in a healthy manner as we get more serious, things need to be more equal between us. As you all know, I pay for everything except for half the groceries, and I do the majority of the cooking and cleaning. She got quite upset at this, trying to say she doesn't have value in our relationship, but I tried to reassure her, and the conversation sort of ended there. I stuck my ground, and 2 days later I brought it up again once the dust settled. While the conversation was rocky, we worked on a compromise that she will ask her boss about the raise she deserves and will begin doing more of the cooking and cleaning. I also asked her if she would talk to her parents about trying to convert me, but that's not going to happen yet. Baby steps. Anyway, since we had that last conversation, she's been cold. She's been only cooking really quick meals like frozen stuff or mac and cheese. I tried talking to her about it and said I'd be happy to teach her the stuff I make for us, but she always says, if you don't like it, make us stuff you do, which is fair. But I know she's as good of a cook as me. I tried talking to her if things are stressing her out. She says no. I tried asking if anything is wrong. She says no. She's been cold, and our sex life took a nosedive from once every 2 days to only twice since my last post. I tried feeding into her love languages and complimenting her extra, but she seems uninterested. I even asked her if I explained anything badly or said the wrong thing, and she says no. What can I do to make her feel happier? She barely even greets me when I come home now. As some comments have suggested, I am deciding to do 2 things. First, spend a week doing everything for myself, by myself. I'll watch what I please, make just my own food, and finally take the classes I have been waiting for her to agree to. I'll just do my own thing and see how she reacts. My main fear is that she will just see this as petty. The second option is to try and talk to her one more time about all of this. I fear she will break up with me for that, but if she does, it's probably for the best. I think I will choose the first option, give her a slight taste of her own medicine, and then bring up how I've felt. Maybe she will understand better once she sees me doing my own thing. Update. The short version of my last post is, after apologizing to everyone, I requested some changes in the dynamic of the relationship, and since my girlfriend agreed, she has been cold with me. It's been nearly 3 weeks since my last post. I really appreciate everyone's advice. It helped me realize that things need to change, or they need to end. The way she has been treating me was not okay, and I was essentially a doormat. Now, I did as I said I would. I decided to see what would happen if I did what I pleased and led her to her own devices. On Monday, I woke up early for work and made my own breakfast. By the time she got up, I was nearly done eating. She questioned why I made my own, and I told her, "You told me if I didn't like what you made, to make something myself." She asked why I hadn't made her some, and I told her she could make her own. We sort of left it at that. Throughout the next couple of days, I watched what I felt like, when I felt like it. I purchased a pottery class without even telling her, stopped asking her if she wanted to do stuff with me, and made all my own meals. After the first day, she stopped asking me anything and just didn't care that I was on my own. It truly felt like I just had a roommate that I shared a bed with. It sucked, a lot, but I was hoping it would show her how I felt. After about a work week of doing this, I was at my limit. Apparently, so was she, since she was starting to make comments again. We were growing more distant, and we started arguing for most of our conversations. On Saturday, I prepared to sit down and talk to her one final time about everything. I woke up early and made my own breakfast. And as soon as she came into our kitchen, she went off on me, yelling at me, asking if I don't love her, if I am cheating on her, how shitty of a boyfriend I've been. I kinda just sat there and took it. I wasn't even done my breakfast. I sort of ignored her entire outburst, and once she was done, I told her we needed to talk. I think she thought I was going to admit I cheated or something since she looked livid. I told her I wasn't cheating and would never. Then I brought up how she had made me feel for a long time, how much she has learned to expect out of me, and that while I truly do love her, it no longer feels like she cares. I talked about how her parents aren't going to convert me and how her not letting me discuss all this with her before was wrong. This dissolved into another fight. We calmed down, and I told her it was best she left and we had some space. I felt kinda sick to my stomach doing that. She tried to tell me I was stupid, that a decision like that would be horrible for me, and that no one would love me the way I expect to be loved. She said no woman would want to be with a man she has to nurture like a child. I tried telling her it was just for some space and to not insult me, but she didn't seem to listen, so I repeated, "Please leave." She asked where she would go. I told her to just go, and if she needs money for a hotel or anything to let me know. She left, somewhere I guess, and didn't request any money. She texted me a couple of times throughout the night and I ignored it. Later, I told her I'd pack all her stuff and she could come tomorrow. Then I turned my phone back on Do Not Disturb. I woke up early on Sunday and packed things really quickly. She didn't come until the afternoon, and when she did, she said she was shocked I actually packed things up. She asked if I was really serious about being this stupid and throwing it all away, and I said yes. I kinda just rolled with it. I told her I still wanted to talk and see if she could see where it went wrong. This turned into another fight, but I just told her to get her stuff and leave. She stormed out and slammed the door. There were still a couple of things left, so I called a buddy of mine and asked him to stay at my place for the week. He said sure. She came over the next couple of days. The first day she tried insulting me again, saying I needed my buddy to keep me safe and stuff, but after that it was just silent when she came to collect her things. My house was quiet, and I kinda hated it. We weren't really texting, but for some reason I decided to call her. She picked up. I asked her why things got like this. She said she didn't know and was sorry. She apologized for everything and said she wished she was better. I said I wished I was too. She asked if she could come home eventually, and I told her I'd think about it, so I thought about it. I read my posts again. I read all your comments again, and I decided no. So I called her up and told her that it's best we end this for good. All she said was, "Are you serious?" I said yes, and immediately hung up. She blew up my phone with a ton of calls and texts, but I put it on Do Not Disturb. Last Saturday, her parents even texted me that I was horrible and a bunch of other things. It's been quiet for the last week. The short version is, I went a week doing my own thing and she blew up. I sat her down and told her how I felt. It ended in me telling her to leave. Over the next week, she collected her stuff. We talked on the phone, and I made the decision to end things for good. She has blown up my phone, as have her parents, about how horrible I am. Update: hey, it's been a couple of days since my last post. People have been requesting I keep them updated, and this has sort of turned into a diary for me. I found some answers to one of the questions that people, and I, have been wondering. Who has she been driving with, staying with, and collecting her stuff with? Turns out it is a somewhat mutual friend of ours who she knew from school before we were dating. I know he lives alone, but I've only ever hung out with him maybe 10 times total. No, I haven't contacted him, and I don't plan on it. I found out through a different guy from that original friend group who was much closer to us. When he visited the mutual friend, he was confused why she was staying there. I don't know or think they are anything more than friends, but I am still very confused why he, of all people, is who she's staying with. The update is, I signed up for therapy, which will begin in a week and a half. I also blocked her and her parents after she tried calling me again about 3 days ago. Next, it turns out she has been telling some of our mutuals that are closer to her that we broke up because I was incredibly mean to her and her family, and was trying to make her do everything in the relationship. She said that our friend she's staying with now helped her escape, me. I found this out since I was talking casually to one of them online. She asked how I was doing. I told her I was doing fine, just focusing on myself and trying to become a better person. She responded, "That's good. I would really hope so." That led to the conversation where I found out what was being said. She heard me out, but I could tell she really wasn't believing me, so I just left it. Finally, I was invited a couple of days ago to a birthday house party this coming Saturday, which I know she's friends with too. I have no idea if she's going, but I am tempted not to go if I find out she is. But I really like the dude. No idea what I should be doing in regards to that, or her telling people how we ended. Update: hey, it's me again. I thought I should update since I can't sleep. Since my ex has been telling people she had to escape, the relationship, and much more, I started texting some mutuals of ours. I kind of steered the conversation towards the breakup, and I said bits and pieces about how we broke up. Most of the replies were essentially, "Well, that's not what she told me," and "Really? It's up to them who they believe, but at least my side, the truth, is out there now, and not just whatever she's saying." I talked to my friend who stayed over while we were breaking up, and he told me he'd back me up if ever needed, which is nice. I did decide to go to the party, and overall it went fine. She was there, but she didn't make a scene like some people thought she would. She was always on the other side of the room with her girlfriends, and I'm 100% sure they were just staring at me and talking about me, but nothing worse than that. I didn't really drink because I feared if I got drunk I'd make a fool of myself or go up and talk to her. She did get very drunk though, but did not try to talk to me or anything. On Sunday morning though, I got a text from our good friend, the host. He told me I wouldn't be invited over anymore. I asked why, and he said that my ex requested it. Apparently, at the party she felt very unsafe since I was there and was incredibly uncomfortable. I won't lie, this upset me. I asked him if she had any proof I've ever done anything to her, and he responded that I was victim blaming. So I promptly told him my side and the whole story, and all he said was, "It's best we remain calm and you just don't come in the future." Which really sucks. Since the party, I've noticed a lot of my followers go down on everything and that a lot of people are taking her side. They're unfriending me or removing me as their friend on everything without saying anything. I never had many separate friends from her, just mutual ones, but she always had a lot of separate ones, so this sucks. I have no idea what she's saying about me or our relationship either, other than from the one mutual friend who said she had to escape the relationship. But I think it's much worse than just that. I have no idea where to go from here.